A very good morning to you. Welcome to the discussion segment of Good Morning Anambra Thursday edition. Hope you're good. Okay, welcome. My name is Ijama. Today, if possible, we're going to look at a very nagging topic that says funding Nigeria's democracy, examining INEC's 126 billion request for 2025 activities and then 2027 election preparations. Did you follow the budget? Okay, let me bring you in. The budget allocation to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for 2025 is 40 billion naira, as proposed by President Bola Tinubu. However, the chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has stated that this amount is insufficient to cover the Commission's operational cost, considering the recent increase in the minimum wage. That's one reason. In fact, Yakubu argued that the 40 billion naira allocation can barely cover personal costs, leaving critical activities like the continuous voter registration, that's the CVR exercise, and voter redistribution to polling units and units unfunded. To address these challenges, the INEC chairman proposed a budget of 126 billion naira for 2025. And that's exactly why we are here this morning, to see the justification of this proposal of Mahmood Yakubu. And to help me look at this nagging topic, I have Nonso Orakwe, the Executive Director, Cash Them Young Community Initiative, with me. Good morning, Nonso.
Good morning, IJ. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, I also have Ugochi Ehiahurike. She is the Executive Director, Social and Integral Development Center, SIDEC. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, IJ. Good morning. Good morning, Dubai. Good morning. Let's just have a beautiful time and discuss a better way to promote what we do when it comes to election and electionary process in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Good to have you here.
Good.
And I don't think I've seen you this year, so Happy New Year to you guys.
Thank you. Same to you.
Same to you.
Okay, the budget, not just the Yakubu, I think a whole lot of people are complaining that their budget is poor. The Minister of Information said that their own is nothing to write home about and a whole lot of things. And yet this budget is bloated. Okay, we're not talking about budget. Let's talk about INEC. And then what they are proposing. I'm starting with you now. So, yes, INEC said they want 126 proposal.
I think I wouldn't want to argue what the INEC chairman has proposed in terms of the budget for 2025 through 2027 general elections. And for me, I think if you watch out, he has a very good argument that in 2024, in 2004, they've been receiving 40 billion to handle elections. Until date, has been what they are receiving. And that 40 billion covers salaries and some other logistics and all of that within the commission. So to me, I think is apt to review such part of the budget that he has just proposed from 40 billion naira, knowing fully well that the inflation now does not really, commiserate with what people, are passing through today. So on that regard, I feel INEC putting up a budget like this is apt. I'm not an economist, but I think federal government, led by President Tinubu, should look at it and then do the needful to assist the commission to carry out this exercise.
All right, thank you very much. Ugochi, let's appraise INEC and their budgets. Okay, considering what happened during the 2023 elections, so much money was budgeted for different things that were supposed to be done to ensure that we'll have good elections. Okay, those things were not done. or they were haphazardly done? And then what about the money that were allocated to them and a whole lot of things? Let's appraise them. Do they really use the money budgeted for INEC judiciously?
All right, thank you so very much, IJ, for that question. I think I need to trickle it down to 2011. As at 2011, according to INEC, they spent 139 billion for the election, and when it comes to registered voters, was about 73.5 registered voters as at 2011. And then when you talk about percentage of voters as at 2011, it was about 53.63%. You know, even as at 2015, they also spent 116.3 billion. That was what INEC spent.
They spent out of their budget?
Yes, out of their budget.
So that's possibility that they don't exhaust their budget?
Yeah, so I'm just coming up. So in 2019, they spent 189.2 billion. That was what INEC spent. Then in 2023 election, INEC spent 305 billion in 23, just 2023 election. And now they are talking about 126 billion for 2027 election. Yes, they've said a lot of things that they want to stop. And I know that they are saying those things based on the lessons learned from just concluded Ghana election, where they said they will not be printing voters' card. Because for me, if you ask, they've been spending huge amount of money, investing huge amount of money in printing voters' card. But this time, they say people can get enrolled, registered online, and also print your voters' card online, which for me is a way to cut costs. Yeah, because if you are just doing incremental budget, that's what we call incremental budget. If you're just doing incremental budget, ideally their budget should come to like 400 and something billion. But because they're already cutting costs from their own side, that's why you can see it's reduced from 305 billion to 126 billion proposed. Yes, that's ideal, because they've been able to narrow it down that, oh, we are no longer printing voters' card. They also need to work. They also say that they are going to be doing diaspora voting. So for me, it's not about doing diaspora voting. How do you intend to manage it and mitigate risk that will be associated with it? Is it not an opportunity for rigging? We have to analyze this, what INEC is already doing right now and proposing, right? But I'm just trying to bring factors that can make them cut more and save costs. If you ask me about Nigerian election and how INEC spends and their spending, for me, at the end of the day, we barely see value for money. We need to call a spade a spade. We need to tell ourselves the truth. If Nigeria can invest as huge as 305 billion in 2023 election, and the moment the result was announced, everybody, most Nigerians was depressed. Does that justify the money we are spending? It doesn't justify it. Now, INEC, just if we are actually learning from Ghana or Ghana election, Ghana runs two-party system. Presently, we have 19 political parties that will be vying. Prior to the election, they might get to 40. And that will cost a whole lot. You know, Nigerian election, we spend in Naira, right? But when it comes to actual census, we spend in dollars. Because our ballot papers is being produced abroad in dollars. Check the exchange rate. How is it affecting us? That is what is affecting INEC. And you produce those things in foreign countries because you want to curb corruption, right? At the end of the day, the election process will be surrendered and marred with high level of corrupt practices. So what have we achieved? We've spent huge amount of dollars printing ballot paper that is so elongated. Have you even factored the risk in converting those ballot papers to polling units? The cost implications? So that is why.
At the end of the day, you still discover that some of these things they do outside, that the contracts were given to Nigerians.
I'm telling you, but you still import and export.
How are we even sure where they did what they did?
So these are the reasons why they hike all those things in INEC. If INEC should come out and tell themselves an honest truth, if we are investing in our own, let's begin to cut costs around procuring ballot papers, conveying ballot papers to polling units on a day of election. We can make, if our ballot papers can cost as little as 10 naira, just like a POS card, the card that they will issue you, right? When you vote, the BVAT machine will produce that receipt and give that, oh, you've actually voted, right? You have it as a ballot. Cost of election will not be high. So these are the areas, right now I'm talking as an economist, but these are the areas that INEC should look at to review. What is actually, what are we really, okay, prior to BVAT, we were using card reader. If we look at the trajectory during the era of this technology, you see that we've wasted a whole lot of money that we don't even sustain. We keep moving from one technology to the other.
That never works.
That never works. And we keep investing millions of dollars, millions of naira, billions. And for us, these are taxpayers' money.
Who cares? Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. I know that apart from this budget of 40 billion naira that they were giving, and they are requesting for 126 billion naira, when there are elections, there are supplementaries. Monies are budgeted for elections. So this is not just, it doesn't cover everything that they do in INEC. So what specific expenses does INEC plan to cover with this request of 126 billion naira if it's not part of the main election that is coming in 2027? Because budget is also going to be made for that one.
Okay, to me, you see, when it comes to budget, there are what I also know as supplementary budgets, where supplementary budgets are where the core budgets, the areas core budget cannot cover. You now have a supplementary budget. But as it stands now, I won't leave out completely the inflation that we are passing through. I am not standing in for INEC. I think INEC has not really done bad generally. You know, the way we were in 2015 and not the place we are in 2023. You know, there are actually a whole lot of improvement around, okay? But our problem is the human, the act of human that, you know, maybe emotions that spice up greed in human that we are facing in INEC, not actually what they have procured for themselves for elections in Nigeria. So what I'm saying in essence is, it's fine, 40 billion naira is there. It might not actually totally cover the general exercise of the election. There are supplementary election. What's it called? There are
Obstacle elections,
Anambra
State election.
Yes, those
Ekiti election, Osun State
the
election.
one in Anambra South now will come. You know, it's all demands money. So what I'm trying to say is this: it's something that I think before they came up with this 126 billion, they must have, if they spent 300 and something billion in 2023, that means, okay, this time around they are spending, they are proposing, they cut down actually. So to me, it's not, we've seen the effort they are making to align with the current inflation in the country. That is what... Which
does not just affect INEC.
INEC, it's a general thing, okay? So if they have left 300 to 126, I think it's something that the FG needs to sit down and look at it. What will this money do to give us in 2025 to 2027 general elections, okay? So if that is done, you'll now see people reactions, because as we are talking like this, the other people are also watching. You see people reaction, you see economists, you see everybody talking about it. I've seen so many comments around this, but my take is that it will be fine if 40 billion naira is budgeted. If 40 billion is budgeted over years, my own take is that 40 billion naira should not be also what will be carried out in 2025, 2026, 2027 general election. In order to bring out the best of INEC, I know there must be flaws. as time goes on.
What are we going to give? What are we going to give INEC to bring out their best? Okay, let's just.
No, we have a lot to do.
Are we now establishing that we are underfunding INEC? Is that what you're saying?
No. But it's not that we are underfunded. But considering what the inflation is in Nigeria, the federal government needs to, actually add something to what they have been taking.
Add something like the 126 they are demanding?
It could be, if they have my own justification, if they have spent
40 billion to 126 billion.
If they have spent 300 billion in 2023.
Yeah. That was for elections.
This one is for what?
No, this one
preparation?
This one is just the agency's budget. No, because when it comes to election, that's going to be another
that will lead to that. Okay, if that when we are talking about preparation for elections, it's also part of the election. So if election comes proper and there is a budget for election, then you know where they are coming from. If where they are coming from and where they are about to land. What I'm trying to say is this. Let me tell you, for instance, something happened I think we went to...
Yeah, CBN.
Is this CBN?
Yeah, we went
where
to
some materials are...
Yeah.
These are preparation, pure core preparation of the elections. Now, we were like, let's see if one material or the other are not there. Behold, did we find any?
No.
All of them were there.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if all these materials are there, preparation, that means they have not lacked in that level. What I established earlier, all the materials are made available. But what happens in the election, the problem we're having in the election is human, not now the facilities. The facilities were available, but the human to handle the facilities are corrupt. So if they are demanding this to make sure that the election is well prepared, it's not too bad.
Have they given us any good election to justify the money we are investing?
But let me tell you the truth.
No, I asked
they have not. But let me tell you, whether we like it or not, INEC has not failed completely, because where we started and where we are now are not the same.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Okay. Ugochi, considering what happened in 2023, I still make a reference to 2023. Have they even given us the road down, of how they spend the money and a whole lot of things? And now they are demanding for more money. Okay, let's look at how we are going to make them accountable. That is, how does INEC plan to address concerns about transparency and accountability in the budget allocation and spending? Because it's not enough for you to ask for 126 billion naira. How do you spend them? Are you going to give us a breakdown on how you spent them?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I think INEC, when it comes to engaging the civil society and also engaging citizens, I think they've done well with that. Just like so said, it's not about INEC, it's just about human factor, the elements, the individuals that does some of those work like ICT and others, administrative processes. I think they are really the issues that we have. It's about human beings and interest. So when it comes to INEC in terms of methods of transparency and also accountability, I think to a large extent they've done that in engaging with the civil society and also Nigerian civil society situation room, because and also organizations just like Yaga Africa and other organizations, they've done well in engaging us with respect to what they intend to do, what they intend to procure, and also what they intend doing differently. That was why, for people like us, our hope was very high that IREF will be working. And the IREF was to give us pool reports, polling unit reports, that at the comfort of your zone, you can watch the trajectory of the report. So they've done that when it comes to accountability. They've done that when it comes to transparency.
Did the IREF work during the last election?
IREF worked.
So
during 2023 election, yes, it worked at some point. If you're just following it for national assemblies, you'll see the report populating. It was just for that presidential result that at some point they said that it was as a result of a technical glitch, internet glitch that happened.
And how are we sure we're not going to manufacture another language for the coming election?
That's the point. So they've done their bit, but now it's also to call, when you talk about transparency, accountability, accountability. You can overemphasize that without talking about the National Assemblies. The National Assembly Committee on Election. I think the chairman of the committee and the members should do what we call oversight function. Oversight function is to look at this judiciously, look at it, even at this point, to do their oversight function by saying, oh, INEC, you are expecting to spend, you're budgeting to spend 126 billion, yet it's a good route. We are going by where they were as at 2023, even as at 2019, it was 186.3 billion. So you see that the margin, and also when you look at the exchange rate, since our election is a currency is naira versus dollar. So when you look at the exchange, as at that 2019, dollar was around 160 naira. But right now it's 1,680 something naira to $1. So looking at all those factors surrounding it, I think the House Committee on Election should do the needful by scrutinizing line items that INEC want to carry out with this. They've said, like I said before, that they will not produce permanent voters card again because of the cost implication. So the House Committee on Election should also ensure that they follow up on this cost of producing ballot papers. You know, I was talking about the percentage, the turnout before now. Go check, for instance, they just concluded 2023 election. You produce this number of voters card, the hope was very high. Yes, turnout was 100%. People came out to vote. Even prior to that election, people going for their voters card, we were watching the process, right? People went out, some markets, some shops, some people, government also closed, gave them free day for that voters card. And the turnout was 100%. Because
and we also saw voters cards that were buried and poured inside gutter or water, did a whole lot of things.
Yeah, people
disenfranchising some people from voting.
Yes, even at that, the turnout was 100%. Now that is very obvious that there will be apathy. Yes, let's tell ourselves the truth.
Say the truth. Why do you think there will be apathy?
There will be apathy because of how people are, in fact, what INEC is experiencing now is lack of trust. That little trust that they gained, they've lost it. And that will trigger apathy. There will be voter apathy.
We budgeted a whole lot of money for you to give us a good election. And you did not do that.
Yeah.
You lost the trust of the people.
Yeah.
And now you are requesting for more money to still do the same thing.
No.
So what's going to happen?
That's why I said it's going to trigger apathy.
It's just that we need to keep hope alive. It's things that happened in 2020.
Keeping hope alive is what is causing our problem in Nigeria.
No. We must keep hope. Even in
Let's do the right thing.
No, even in the developed
Somebody should be responsible for something.
Even in the developed
If I give you money to do this now, so and you did not do it, man, I will pick you up. You should explain to me why you did not do it.
Until we get to that level.
No, why won't we get to that level?
That is why we need to keep
why
hope
won't
alive.
we? That's why keeping hope alive is why we are where we are today.
We must. If not,
but if somebody takes responsibility of issues, it will happen again.
Good. We have seen it couple times. As in, we have seen it incessantly happening. But we cannot say let's all go in and allow it go in that way. We must also repeat what we have repeated. In fact, to me, what happened in 2023 should be severely replicated, so that the people who are there will know that we are ready.
How do you mean?
That the mobilization.
Yes. If I were the citizens, if I'm to say that same level of participation should be doubled, so that the people we are dealing with will know that Nigerians are aware of whatever thing they are doing within themselves. So, but if you say, let me go in and allow them to do the same thing because they did not deliver.
When they know that you are aware, what will be the outcome? Also, I have said it. You don't want to take responsibility for your actions. That's why we are where we are. Nobody is called out for his actions. That's why we are where we are today. And we have to change.
Good.
This keeping hope alive, it's not working for us.
Let me tell you, it's going to work. Only when people, okay, let me tell you something. Do the citizens know their rights?
Yeah.
You think they don't?
They don't.
No. If
They don't. Nobody is acting on. In fact, let me tell you, we were discussing about Freedom of Information Act 2 days ago with Ife Onachukwu. She shared a document with me. I saw, even myself, I noticed that I've not even done half of what I should do. So people doesn't know their right. People doesn't know where to pinch their cost.
No, people know their right. I beg to disagree.
They are not acting.
No.
People doesn't know. It's people at your level. People at your level. Go to the street and then tell me.
No, people know. The point is that people have lost it when it comes to government.
They don't know. Let me tell you.
People have lost it.
Engage. Go to main markets. Engage people. Even go to some of the civil servants. Open up. Talk about elections.
So who is responsible? Who should we hold responsible?
We should hold ourselves accountable for not knowing what we should know.
No, look at what it's like. Growing up, I remember what woman will always tell us. Now, if you tell a young girl that you're not trained, you're not abusing that girl, you're abusing the mom.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear me? Because she is not, no, I'm going somewhere. Because she is not going to train herself. Somebody should be responsible. Training her.
Are we willing to learn?
No, that's what we're saying. No. We haven't even got to that. What I'm saying, if you think that you go to the main market that people don't know anything concerning what we're discussing, have you done anything to let them know? And they say that they don't want to know.
Sensation has been on. Let me tell you.
Who have been sensitizing?
Excuse me.
From where to where?
Okay, let me tell you. I know I've vividly engaged program of knowing your right and asking questions in Anambra State. Okay? What do we mean by that? Stepping into local government. Nobody is happening within your region. Now,
so see, this is Anambra State.
Even
this is Anambra. I want to really tell you the practical things when it comes to Anambra and Anambra.
I'm just telling. I'm from Anambra.
But let's just take Anambra as a state.
Take information to the people. You go to them with information.
Okay, now let me tell you. I know that Anambra State did what we call the Bobodocha. Let me just give you a simple example. The Bobodocha, that if you pour debt dispose waste indiscriminately, that you will be apprehended. How many of us are keeping it?
Who said they are not?
Who?
No, they did, because he was giving a thorough campaign.
Have you passed through?
He was giving a thorough campaign, and you don't stop. In orientation and reorientation, you don't stop.
No, orientation keeps going.
You don't say it and go in.
No, people are hearing it every morning, afternoon, and night. Then what has happened?
So what I'm saying
in essence is, what I'm saying in essence is this. People doesn't know their right, and they don't want to know. Everybody is pursuing money. You don't ask questions. How many persons have held their legislators accountable of not doing one thing or the other? Nobody is doing it. So
the ones that did,
they will feel they are not responsible. They are not accountable to you.
Okay. Yeah, go. Come in.
Okay, so what I'm saying, when it comes to people don't know their right, I feel to a large extent people knows their right? Because immediately after that general election, a day after, I just went to electrical parts. That's electrical parts so boosted. Those traders were so depressed.
And you see them discussing the matter.
They were all discussing it from shop to shop. They gathered, they were so angry. And they still say that they don't know their right.
What are they discussing? What is the topic?
The outcome of the election. The outcome of the election. The disappointment in the election, and a whole lot of things.
Their candidate did not win. That is their
no, that is not just it.
That is the discussion.
When you talk about election, right? We talk about free, fair, credible, and inclusive.
They will tell you.
It's not about candidates.
They will tell you. Okay, what have you asked them question? What were they? What was their role during that election?
What do you expect to be their role?
Of course,
than to come out and vote.
They have their right,
and they defend their votes. What
perfect.
else?
How many of them defended their votes?
They were there. They were all there. Don't go there.
They were all there.
No.
Forget this thing.
Let me tell you. I was in fact, I think I drove around almost all the political wards, collation centers, those people came out with their data.
That is your own.
No.
Do you know some the same
people that went to polling,
people
that came to the polling booths.
Calm down, let me tell you. Do you know the same? Do you know the same day? I also went around and calm down.
Master, I'm surprised you are saying this.
No, I'm not.
Nigerians, hold on, Master. No, hold on. Nigerians came out with their.
They came out
with their what do you call it? The generating sets.
They came
out with everything to defend their votes. To make sure that people were counted. And you say they don't know their rights.
They don't know.
You don't talk down on people like that.
They don't know. Why did I say they don't know?
You don't talk down. Don't let them attack you because
let me tell you.
They feel hot.
I know everybody feel hot because they feel hot because what they expected didn't work out for them. Let me tell you, what I'm talking about beyond. What I'm saying is beyond this conversation we're having now. Calm down. Let me calm down. Do you know the day this election was going on? I too was on ground, and I saw persons from 20 years and above playing footballs.
And what made you feel they've not gone to cast their votes?
No, they casted. Few of them casted. Then we're talking about securing the vote.
Okay.
Now, excuse me.
The numbers that were there to secure this vote. Let me tell you one thing.
Excuse me.
Okay, hold on. No, so hold on. Let's go check on me.
This hijack did not happen at the polling unit.
Where is the hijack?
This hijack did not happen because at the polling unit.
What are they discussing there?
At the polling unit. At the polling unit. No, I'm telling you.
You right to ask questions. You only answer questions here.
No, I will not answer questions. I'm also entitled to ask.
Ask the question and you answer. Don't ask
Nigerians, we have our problems.
Hold on.
So we should stop blaming, putting blames on certain things.
Hold on.
I'm talking from experience.
No. So what I'm saying is this. When you talk about vote, protect your mandate. These people, they came out to vote and they were able to protect their mandates. Some of those polling units, you see those youths coming out to share data, hotspots, ad hoc staff, to make sure that they are able to upload their reports with that BVAS machine through IREF. These people were eager. A whole lot of people were watching. What we heard from Barrister Francis Okoye was that because as a result, in fact, he called me, he was like, Ugochi didn't even ask me what happened that night. I said, what happened that night? Tell us what happened that night, because till today, he's unable, but he will still accuse you to say, oh, he didn't even ask me what happened that night. Oh yeah, tell us what happened that night. There was an internet glitch. So how? Places where I was, they were able to upload for National Assemblies, Senate, but that of presidential, they were unable to upload. So that's the issue. And what we are saying, to revive, restore, reconscientize Nigerian youth, INEC needs to start reassuring people that the processes that they want to put in place, the mechanism, the system will work. And when they assure people that it will work, and we want to see it work, somebody like me, I was depressed. I'm talking from experience. In fact, I was just lying down, tears were just rolling because I felt I disappointed a lot of people that believed in me. Because I was busy, we were here, IJ, if you remember, we were here sensitizing our people that IRF will work. Come out and vote. And those people came out to work. Come on. Who does that?
As a liar.
That pained me personally, and a lot of people knew I was in pain.
And
so that's the point
we were hiding because we assured them everything will work. And when it didn't work, we started hiding because you don't know anyone could attack you. You know, okay. what did you say, and how come what you said didn't come to pass? You know how they believe media.
So when I talk about
on the radio, I heard it on the radio, I saw it on the TV, and then that means it's authentic. Okay, and when they get out there, it's not what they say that they saw.
Tomorrow, when they tune ABA, they say those people are liars.
You know that kind of a thing. You can imagine what how it happened to us. But I know what's going on. We are going to take a break here. We'll take a little break to allow us to cool down, and then we'll go to sip water, and then we'll come back.
Oh, I'll cool down with sip water.
We'll take a break here, please.
Even a madman knows that it's quite outrageous. When I saw the post online and I started going through people's comments, you can never get a a good comment about such a budget. So it's quite outrageous, and I wouldn't say, there's nothing I will say here that will make a change to it. But everyone knows, even a madman knows that they are ridiculous in their budget. And if with the current situation of Nigeria and the economic situation, making such budgets for an election, which at the end of the day, the people's votes and interests will not be counted. So I don't think there's even a need for such now. So they should vet their budget very well and know this whole amount, what is it actually for?
The issue of INEC requesting 100 and something billion for next election, well, it's good. But one thing with issue of conducting an election in Nigeria is this. I prefer going for an electronic device so that it will automatically reduce the manual labor, employing skills. It will reduce the cost. If actually that we go for an electronic device, let's assume now we have different kind of ways. You can vote through your phone, you can vote through internet, any device. So I don't see much need of spending such amount of money, because they are demanding this because Nigeria is too big. 774 local governments is much. When you check what they are estimating, you see that really it may consume that money totally. But the issue is, after consuming the money totally, can you get the accurate result you are looking for?
INEC should, stand on their existing protocol, because as it is now, there are other amenities that, are needed to be managed, So there are other things the fund should be go to, you understand? So the money they are requesting for, according to me, to me personally, is too much, you understand? So we are talking about cutting down cost of governance, you understand? So that's all I have to say about that.
If they will conduct a credible election, they justify it. But I doubt it. So that the whole money will not be budgeted for election. They'll be giving the money and they'll share it. And then, as usual, produce the result most people knew that is already on ground.
You understand? Even the one they did last time, you also heard how much they said they use. At the end of the day, even all the digital electronic equipment they use mostly failed. So what are they making all this budget for?
Hey, welcome back. It is still Good Morning Anambra. We apologize for the glitches. Of course, we are discussing INEC, so there must be a glitch somewhere. Okay. All right. So remember, we are looking at funding Nigeria's democracy. Next, 126 billion naira request for 2025 activities and 2027 election preparations. That's exactly what we have been doing here. Of course, we are concluding. We want to find out finally if eventually you are given this money. Is it assured we are going to have a good election? Talking about the pockets of elections that is coming here, and that's the by-elections that is coming. I think we have one coming from Anambra South because of the demise of Ifanyuba, and a whole lot of them coming from different quarters. Okay, are we assured you are going to give us, Mahmoud is looking at me on the screen, are we assured you are going to give us exactly what we, bargained for? Because if you give us something, I remember one, one chief in my town in those days, he would always say that, well, when you work, you are allowed to steal, but don't allow the stealing surpass the work that you did. That's when people will notice that you have stolen. You understand? So if you give us good election, give us whatever we want in election, we don't care if you want hundreds of billions, trillions of naira, we'll give it to you, but just give us what we want. That's exactly what we're cut out for this morning. Yes, Ugochi, what do we do as a way forward, because we're concluding? What do we expect from INEC?
Okay, yes, just like I said before, so INEC cutting down from 305 billion to 126 billion. Yeah, it's a good cause, it's a good route to take, but then again, it's value for money. Yes, so to promote value for money, yes, INEC, they've said they're no longer operating permanent voters card. For us, it's ideal, it's a welcome development, just like we do when we register for NIN, that's National ID card. You just print it on your own, but you can also have it, the logo on your phone. When you want to access your National ID card, you access. When you want to access your permanent card from your phone, a soft copy, you can access and you can also use it to vote and voted for. So it's another route to cut costs. For me, it's in a good direction. Then they said they want to promote and also carry out a diaspora voting. For me, I don't think Nigeria, we are ready or we are yet there. So what I should also advocate or suggest is that we do a national election that a security official can vote at his or her point of primary assignment. The election observers, irrespective of where they are, they can also vote there. That's one thing we can do also to promote and also curb rigging and curb corruption, to make sure that our election is inclusive. When we say that we're promoting inclusive election, that's a route to take. Then when it comes to this number of political parties vying for elections, so for me, I see it as a point of promoting vote sharing. We can't be promoting vote sharing. We don't expect to see up to 18 ballots, up to 18 political parties in ballot. That's made the ballot paper so long and it has cost implication. So for you to cut costs, you know, that's what I've been emphasizing from the first time, that let's promote two-party system. If you are not in party A, you are in party B.
Like it's done in America.
Yes, if you are not here, you are there. But the way you start seeing people navigating, migrating from, jumping from one political party, that is desperation. Your ambition shouldn't cost someone's life. Cost of governance emanated from election and electoral process. So if we can come up and say, we are not going beyond 10 political, let's start from 10. All these 18, you can come back and see how you can merge with others. Even in banking sector, if some banks are not doing well, they merge with others. If your political party, if that day it will come up to become one vote at the end of the day, why not join others? Right? So let's have that two-party system, or not more than 10 political parties in Anambra, in Nigeria, so that when we are printing ballots, the cost implication will not be so down. Okay. Yeah, because looking at transparency, we are looking at accountability. We're also looking at value for money. Value for money will restore trust.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so we are concluding.
For fostering more transparent, inclusive, and accountable electoral system, in as much as we are talking about cutting down the cost of governance and the cost of our elections in Nigeria, the young people across the country has come up with top youth electoral reform priorities, which one of them is establishment of an electoral offences commission that can, gear up our elections properly. Timely transmission of election results, post-election petition resolutions, INEC leadership selection process reform, and also interpretation and amendment of continuous voters registration provision. So if these things are being enacted as law in our electoral process, it will go a long way to spice our elections. And so I want young people across the country to take responsibility, ask questions, and participate. Don't say you've lost it in 2023. No, come 2027, let us all come out en masse to repeat what happened in 2023. It will go a long way to pass a signal to our leaders that we are aware of what is happening in our dear country. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Nonso Orekwe, Executive Director, Catch Them Young Community Initiative. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you, IJ.
Okay, and then Ugochi Ehiahurike. It took me time to learn how to pronounce this name, but I got it now.
Yeah, you're doing justice to it.
Thank you. Ugochi Ehiahurike, Executive Director, Social and Integral Development Center, SEDEC. Thank you very much for coming, ma'am.
Thank you, IJ, for having us. We are glad to be here.
Okay, thank you. INEC, you heard us. you know, the bottom line is give us credible election and we are good to go. Thank you very much. You stand by now. I will bring in the sports, the sporty AJ to tell us what's happening in the sporting world this morning. Do stand by.